Hey craft nerds, how's it going? I have a unboxing slash unbagging for you today. I haven't done a video like this, I don't think. Usually I open the packages before I film, but I thought it might be fun to open them with you guys. I actually know what's in them, of course, because I ordered them, but you know, either way, I thought it could be fun. I have two packages that I've been waiting to crack open, and as I say with a lot of my videos, one of them is for a custom piece I'm going to be working on, so I need to open it so I can start working on it. So I thought I'll film it and I'll show you guys. And I did get some stuff for myself in this package as well. I'm thinking I'll create a collection of jewellery. I usually create my jewellery in collections. So the reason I do that, so what I mean by in a collection is I'll choose a theme, I'll choose a colour scheme, you know, I'll find some points of inspiration and, you know, have an idea in mind for the jewellery to keep the collection cohesive, a colour theme going through it and things like that. And, you know, it's been a really good way for me to work because it sets self-imposed limitations that help you be more creative, because I think if you have too many options, it can be a bit overwhelming, and I find that I'm more creative when I have less options. So I'm not sure exactly what the collection will be, only that I've been very inspired by red and roses and things, which you will probably notice. I've been wearing a bit of red lately. I love red anyway, but and yeah, I've just been gravitating towards those things at the moment, so I figured it would be a good source of inspiration. So I'm going to open this one. So this is from a company called Antiqued. They are on Etsy, so it's Antiqued, Antiqued. She sells, obviously by the name, vintage components for jewellery and things like that. Mainly, I think from her I've bought the Czechoslovakian chain, so Czech crystal chain. It's I find it to be just as nice as the Swarovski crystal chain, if you've ever used that, but it's cheaper, and yeah, and she's got a lot of really nice colours and things, so I have bought from her before, and so yeah, do recommend her stuff. So I'm going to open this and let's have a look. So I'm going to be making a necklace, a black crystal chain set in silver necklace that is like a spiderweb design. I haven't made anything like this before, so it will be a challenge. So I bought a lot of the crystal chain for that, and also some other colours for myself, and some rose themed things. So let's open the bag up. Probably should have the camera pointed down for these, I guess, so that I can show you as I'm opening it. So anyway, this is the black crystal chain. So I'll give you a look at that. It is very pretty. I'll pull a bit of it out of the bag. I won't pull it all out of the bag, but so you can see that it's just a really pretty 3mm black crystals in silver. They are fantastic for embroidery. I'll try and show you what I mean. So each of the crystals are joined by a little connector, and it's the perfect spot for a stitch if you're embroidering these onto a backing. And I've made quite a number of things using the crystal chain in my work because yeah, it just works out really lovely. Even if it's just like as an edging for something, or I've created entire designs out of the crystal chain, and you know, really love the look of it. So I did get some other crystal chain pieces while I was at it. So this is a pink, like a fuchsia pink in gold, and I just thought it was really, really pretty. So I picked out a few sort of reds, blacks, purples, and things like that, because I thought with the rose theme, if I create a collection that's, I'm thinking a little bit gothic, so I picked colours that will go with that. So this is, if you can, hopefully you can tell the colour. I don't know if that's coming up. I am playing around with my lighting at the moment. I've got 2 lamps sitting here to light me up, but it's still not the greatest lighting, so I might need to play around with that. But anyway, that is a deep, deep, lovely, rich scarlet red colour, and it says red cyan actually, and lovely colour in the oh, it's brass setting, sorry, not gold. Yeah, brass setting. I got, so I showed you the black with silver. This is a brass with black. This is perfect anytime for my work because I do a lot of steampunk inspired pieces. So having, you know, black with brass, you know, perfect steampunk colours. Brass is just classic steampunk, of course, and then black just goes really well with it. I also got just a small piece of this vibrant violet purple in brass. I don't think that colour is quite showing up as vibrant as it is, but it's kind of dark, so it's difficult to show. You'd have to look at it in the light, but it is quite a lovely, bright, deep violet. Let's see what they call it. It just says purple amethyst. It's a 6mm, so as you can see, I mean the difference size-wise there. I tend to mainly use the thinner ones, so probably a 2 to 3mm, maybe 4mm sometimes. Other ones I use mainly because they are great for edging. You don't want anything too thick usually, well I don't anyway, for edging things. But sometimes it is nice to add a bit of the thicker chain in a design somehow, or maybe around a cabochon if you've got like a large cabochon and you can get away with that. So I got that. Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I did. I got silver. So hopefully that shows up again. Again, cyan ruby in the silver, red cyan in the silver, and so the Czech crystal is called Preciosa, if you're ever wondering. So Preciosa is Preciosa, and it is a really nice crystal. They're obviously not as known as your Swarovski crystals, but I find them to be very pretty, and I will use them, you know, in things quite happily, you know, instead of like a Swarovski if I've got them on hand. Now these are beautiful. I'll do it that way. So these are red rose cabochons on black. I'm going to try and move that light around a little. It's just not quite lighting up. I feel like I look green at the moment with that light, so I'm sorry guys, I don't know why the light's looking a bit funny. these are beautiful, and as I mentioned before, I'm thinking of doing a collection where there's a real theme of red roses, and I'm thinking of a colour scheme of black and silver along with that. It is very early stages, mind you, so I need to sort of sit down and decide what's my inspiration, but you know, I highly recommend if you create jewellery, or even if you create other things, you know, maybe if you're finding you're stuck for ideas, put some self-imposed limitations in the mix. You know, decide that you'll challenge yourself to create something in a certain colour, or you know, with a certain theme or something like that, and you'd be surprised when you limit yourself how suddenly that's when you do become creative, and you think you've got more of a laser focus on a certain idea, and you're thinking of options within that. And I just find that it works really, really well to, you know, really brainstorm that certain theme or whatever to create things. Anyway, back to the haul. So these are little black, hopefully you can tell, they are black spikes, and I just really like the look of these. They're really long and thin. Oh, I might pull one out. Oh, it's on a chain. And they're metal, which I liked as well. I might even get more of these because I love those. I'd love some like this in different sizes, actually, would be really cool. So I just thought they would be great. I might actually pull out one of those rose cabochons as well. Show you a bit better. Let's see if we can zoom into that more, because it is just really, really pretty. They're quite small. They had different size ones. In fact, I thought I did buy some of the larger ones. Maybe I didn't. I must have decided not to get the larger ones. I think I probably will go back and get some larger cabochons. I like these ones, but I think I would really love some large red rose ones as pendants or something like that, focal pieces or something. But we'll see how the collection unfolds, and you know, who knows what'll happen. But I think, you know, I'm set on those colours. I think I'll definitely go with those colours. Now I've pulled these out. These are little connectors, just little black filigree sort of connectors, and they came in a package of, I think there's 10 in here. Yeah, so 10 connectors in there. So the metal spikes were $5.38. The connectors for the 10 pieces, $5.38 as well. So this is Australian dollars, by the way. So if you're in the States, and I think she's located in the States, maybe, yes. So if you're in the US, you know, perfect. You know, she'd be a great shop to have a look at. And I find the price is great for Australia as well. And the postage, I find it's better to get a few items from her. She has pretty good combined postage. I wouldn't recommend getting 1 or 2 items. But once you start adding a few items, the postage doesn't go up too much, and so it works out really well. So I would probably hold off until you are happy to buy a number of items. This is from Australia anyway. For the States, I'm not sure how the shipping costs is. It'd be cheaper, of course, for you, but I think it was something like, it was under $20 total shipping for everything, which, you know, look, that's just what you sort of have to pay half the time for us, you know, for buying things from the States to Australia. It just costs a bit of money. But the chain's pretty good. It's, you know, for the long black jet, which one was this? Sorry, 3mm black rhinestone chain in the brass setting. That was $8. So, and that is 36 inches, so it's a really decent amount. The 6mm purple chain, which I didn't get too much of, 9 inches, was $4 Australian. Again, obviously this is going to be cheaper in US dollars. The one I got the most of, which was the black chain, black crystal on silver chain, that was, it's $13.47 per 36 inch, and I got 3 lots, 3 times that. It doesn't have the full calculation there, and I'm sorry, I think, what does that work out to be, like under $40 or around $40, something like that, for that amount of chain. So look, as far as price wise goes, if you really like Swarovski chain, the Czech crystal chain is fabulous, and I highly recommend it. So that was all I got from there. So again, that's antiqued. I'll put all the details in there for you, so if you're wanting to shop there, then you can. Now this other package I got, this is, or I believe it is, a new hot glue gun. So I already have a hot glue gun, and in fact you've seen me use it in tutorials, but it's a really old one. I must have got it, it was more than 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. It's not that it doesn't work, but it constantly leaks glue, and I'd run out of glue for it anyway, so I needed to get some glue. So I jumped on eBay looking for glue and found this, which was glue and a new glue gun, which supposedly, based on the feedback, doesn't leak glue. At least it doesn't leak much glue. We'll see. I'll have to report back and let you know, but I thought that would be really good, because like as soon as for as long as my glue gun is on, it will just consistently eke out glue, and makes a huge mess, wastes a ton of glue and that sort of thing. So this one is, what's it called? So it's just a Chinese made Zunli or something like that. I'll have to link the price because I don't have the price in front of me, but it wasn't very much. It was a really good price from memory, and it came with 50 glue sticks as well. So based on that fact and getting the glue gun as well, it sounded pretty good. So I'll just pull it out quickly. There were some others that were like, I started to Google, you know, and have a look at reviews for hot glue guns to see if there was something even better. And I did find this one, and I can't even remember the brand of it because I decided against it in the end, but it was like $70 or something. It wasn't cheap. Again, I think Australian dollars, or actually maybe it was US dollars, but, and it was meant to be some sort of, high-tech, you know, temperature controlled, doesn't leak, lots of functions glue gun. And it sounded like at the start for a few months it could be a really good glue gun, but then it was then failing on people, and the glue was starting to melt inside the glue gun and coming out the back, and that feedback seemed relatively consistent for a lot of people. I didn't note it down the brand, but look, I guess the upshot is check feedback, check reviews. I always check reviews, and do a bit of research on things, unless it's a really cheap brand like this was, although it did have a little bit of feedback from people as well saying it was pretty good. And but this was you know, not expensive at all, so we'll see how that goes. It can't be worse than my other one, and I have plenty of glue now. The thing with hot glue as well, I find, is that it's quick to glue things, but it's not particularly strong, so it really depends what you're using it for. So, you know, you wouldn't want it on anything that's getting a lot of friction, or could be knocked, yeah, things like that. So I guess just, you know, bear in mind what you're using it for and how much gluing power you need for that item. But if you're doing some, you know, craft projects and things, a fair few of them, you can definitely get away with the glue gun. And you can also give some, like, there's some specific glue gun craft projects which are really interesting, you know, because of the raised glue. You can, you know, use it creatively just for that fact alone. There's glitter glue, there's all sorts of things like that. So anyway, that's it for that haul, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this didn't go on too long. I hope you like my videos, and if you do, please subscribe. It'd be great to have you on board as part of the Craft Nerd family. And as I always say, if you've got any ideas for videos that you like, or particular ones that you prefer, let me know, give me the feedback, and that will really help me in the future to create the types of videos that you like. Alright, thanks for tuning in. See you, Craft Nerds.